to have something so majestic right in the palm of your hand isn't as impossible as it may seem. And actually, making a clay volcano isn't really that difficult either. My little sister Callie actually introduced the idea of making a clay volcano for my speech, and I figured if she could do it, I could do it. So I am here today to tell you guys how to make your very own clay model volcano and the type of reaction that occurs to make it erupt. And I'm also going to tell you a little bit about a volcano that's one of the largest volcanoes in the world, that's right west. And so first, to construct the volcano, it's a very simple process. All you need is a bottle. You can choose any size you want. You need some clay and a dish that's about that deep or so, just for easy cleanup. And then what you do is you take the bottle and you would take the clay and cover it entirely until the bottle is completely covered and make it look like a volcano. And then you can be as creative as you want. You can paint it, you can add stuff to it, make it look like a real volcano. Go crazy. It's a little kid's project. It's too much fun. And so the next part, since your volcano is ready to go, it's time to make it erupt. And so what you're going to do is you're going to take some baking soda. And put a few tablespoonfuls of baking soda. And then you're going to use vinegar to actually create the reaction. But optional materials you can use are food coloring. I chose red to make it resemble lava. I just use some castle leather, you don't need too much. And then some dish soap, which will actually give it a bit more bubbles and make it a little bit more cool. Add a few drops of that. And now you're going to add the vinegar. And you have an erupting volcano. And so, actually, I'm taking that. Oh. Alright, and so, according to Sophisticated Edge, they actually had a really good explanation as to what reaction is actually going on here. And the baking soda is your base, where the vinegar is your acid, and when the two combine, they create carbonic acid, and because this substance is really unstable, it decomposes really quickly and forms carbon dioxide and water. And so what you actually have is the carbon dioxide in these bubbles, and once the bubbles disappear, what's left over is all the water. So, if you know how to make your very own erupting volcano product and whatever you can find in your kitchen, I'm going to tell you about a real volcano right here in the U.S. Called Mount Mazama. It's among one of the largest volcanoes in the world, and it's located in Crater Lake National Park in Oregon. And according to their website, which was constructed by the U.S. Department of the Interior, its last eruption was 7,700 years ago, and it has been dormant for the last 5,000 years. And within those 2,000 years or so, it had really small eruptions, but never to the point where they were too damaging. But the really cool thing about the volcano is that the last eruption that it had, the very top walls of it collapsed, and so it created a deeper crater than what it would have been up here. So it kind of sat right here. And so over hundreds of years, precipitation like water and snow would melt down and created the lake, which we now know of as Crater Lake. And Crater Lake is actually the nation's deepest lake at 1,943 feet deep, and has some of the purest, freshest water you can find pretty much anywhere in the world. And so as you can see, some volcanoes can create mass destruction, whereas some volcanoes can just get really messy. And so having created the volcano, and you've learned a little bit about the chemical reaction you can use to make a volcano erupt, and you also learned a few cool things about a real volcano. I hope you can take from this speech, and it sparked some interest for you guys to maybe try and make your own volcano at home. And these majestic mountains, really alive in themselves, can be experienced in so many ways. So I highly recommend you either try to make your own, or even take the risk and visit a volcano for yourself, experience it, and learn it to be a little more hands-on